In this episode of Bitches Taking Pictures, we discuss some topics that may be triggering, such as sexual harassment, murder, and suicide. Thanks for listening, and remember, weddings are great.
Hey! Yes, bitch. Hey! Bitches taking pictures. Bad bitch. Bitches taking pictures. Bad bitch. Bitches take pictures. Take pictures. Make some noise, raise your hand if you's a boss bitch.
I'm a boss bitch.
Taking pictures. I'm a boss bitch. Taking pictures.
I'm a boss bitch.
Yeah, taking pictures. Bitches taking pictures. Take my picture.
Hello?
Hey!
What's the Bitches Taking Pictures website? Oh, no, it's not a website.
Girl, honey, this is a podcast.
This is a podcast. This is the podcast.
This is a podcast. It's Christmas time, and boy, do we
Yes!
have a present for you!
Yes. This is our first Pages from the Guestbook episode.
Yeah.
I'm so excited. I'm like really fucking excited for this.
No, this is gonna go viral.
Yeah, it is.
And this is it right here, because this is the shit that nobody talks about. This is the shit that even we don't know about.
I know. Exactly.
And you would think being there 8, 10, 12 hours a day that we would know a lot of what goes on behind the scenes, either at your rehearsal dinner, the day of. Mm-hmm. We don't always know.
It's true. There are times where couples will stay in our lives, and then we hear stories after the fact of things that happen at the wedding, and we're like, what?
How? We were there. We were intimately involved, and we had no idea. I'm just thinking of...
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
I know. Do we even talk? I don't know.
I don't know. We might have to have them write it out. Anyway,
Yeah.
Do you guys know what we're talking about? We're talking about the stories that happen, the drama, the conflict.
Yes.
The crying, the anger, the division of families that can happen at a wedding.
Yes, and we want you to write your story. This is your time. You know, we're gonna read them in your words. Write in. Tell us these stories. You can be anonymous.
Yeah, we'll keep you anonymous, and
Absolutely.
we'll also call out the people that ruined your day if you want us to.
Mm-hmm.
I have no problem with that. You wanna tell me their name, their Instagram handle, like, especially if it's a
100%.
guy.
We will call those bastards out.
Yeah. But we just wanted to start sharing some of these stories. We think it would be really cathartic.
Yeah.
I think you could, like, get rid of some of that grief
Right?
that you're holding on to and use
Sage
us
burn
as
it.
a vessel. We're a vessel to your healing.
We're your sage.
Yeah, we're your sage.
Let us burn.
Yes, burn, baby, burn.
Let us do it.
I'll be your Palo Santo.
I love that shit.
Light me up.
I don't like sage. I like Palo Santo.
Come on, baby, light my fire.
Bundle. Right? Isn't that what they call it?
Try to set the
bundle.
night on fire.
I've been listening to like a lot of spooky podcasts, and they do a lot. They talk about
I've been
saging.
listening to a lot of The Doors.
No, never.
Okay.
Never, ever, ever.
Yeah, saging. Where is my? Do I have sage right behind me?
You always have sage. Yeah, actually,
yeah.
it's right behind me.
That's
I
right,
have
bitch.
mine.
Yeah, you want to light it up?
Yeah. Recently I came home. I'm such an idiot. I swear to God. I came home, and I have a cat door in the basement door, right? And there's like, basement stairs, and to the left is like a playroom, but there's like a weird like triangle cut out in the stairs. So you can, like, you could go down the stairs and look in and be like, hey guys. So I went downstairs, I brought Zoe to school, I came back to pick Max up, I brought him to school, and then I come back home and I look and I'm like, why is it so illuminated downstairs? I'm looking through the cat hole, and then I realized that the lamp you have to go click, click, click to turn on is on. Okay. And it wasn't on when I left with Max, and I wouldn't go downstairs, and I was like, I need the sage.
Well, there was obviously a murderer
I thought
Or a
either
ghost.
there
Yeah.
is a demon murder, there is a demon haunting, or somebody broke into my house and they turned
Because
on my
they were
lamp.
watching you and they
Yes.
knew your routine. They were like, oh, she brings the daughter to school, she comes back. She
Yes.
brings the son to school and she comes back. And that's my 3-minute window of time to go in her house,
Exactly.
turn on the lamp in the basement,
Just sit in the
and
lamp.
yeah, obviously that's what happened.
That's what I thought.
There's no other
Thank you.
explanation.
But, you know, I guess actually, if you hit the lamp, it does turn on and off. And I didn't realize that.
Is it
and
not
the
a clapper? Did
No,
you-
well, the cat's running through the triangle.
Yeah, that's
cutout.
freaky. Yeah. Is
Totally
it
freaked me out.
Illuminati triangle, do you think, maybe?
Oh,
There's a
God,
little-
I don't know.
Maybe there's a little Illuminati. I don't know.
I'm just thankful that, like, the person who built the house was, like, a little old Italian man because there's,
Yeah.
like, he put a little, like,
Yeah.
deadbolt on the basement door. So I just hit, there's, like, a little lock.
Well, you never know when you're going to have to lock your
Right?
child in the basement for being disobedient. Hello? We're
Someone's got
daughters of
locked down there,
Italians. You
actually.
know that there's always a chance you might get locked in the basement for being
Yeah,
disobedient.
this little Italian man, like, put a lot of, you know, safety features or child abuse features.
I mean, it's 6 of one,
You
half
never
dozen
know.
of the other. So it's all done with love. So it's
Exactly.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I feel like it's all these podcasts I'm listening to fault, like, you know.
Yeah, I
that
have Palo Santo over there and some sage over there.
Oh,
if you're
saging,
feeling
I'm
the
like-
need, we might have to burn some after these stories.
Yeah, true. I was actually listening to one of the podcasts I listen to. It's called Two Girls, One Ghost, and then which is the best name ever.
that's really funny.
And can I tell you the story they told about a wedding? It's
Yeah,
very
why
short.
not?
It's not bad. But I mean, it's kind of bad.
What?
But okay, so it was in 18. Oh, I have to put on my readers.
Oh my
I
god.
have to switch my glasses, Marie said.
That's okay.
All right, it was in 1884. And this woman, Anna, this was an episode about being buried alive because, you know,
Oh, great.
lighthearted, wonderful fun.
Yeah.
So this woman,
Little
Anna
Edgar Allan Poe.
Anna
like it.
Hockwalt, was a young woman dressing for her brother's wedding. And before the wedding, she was found in the kitchen, sitting in a chair, lifeless. She was pronounced dead, and the cause of death was sympathetic heart palpitation combined with Anna's naturally nervous disposition, which I read and I was like,
She had a.
I would have
attack?
fucking been, like, buried alive in 1884 in my 20s then. Because, like, what is she, like, an
It
anxious?
sounds like she had an anxiety
Yes!
attack or a panic attack, and
She
they were
did.
like, "She'll be fine. She's just
No,
hysterical."
they were like, she's dead. She's dead from her hysteria. She was getting ready for her brother's wedding, and they just found her in a catatonic state in the kitchen and was like, oh, she's dead.
I mean, I had a lot of anxiety getting ready to go to that party at Ocean Cliff
Right?
the other night. Like, good thing I
It's 2021.
didn't sit down and you walked in the house and you'd be like, "Oh,
Like,
great, Maurice's
Oh,
dead."
shit. She's dead. But the best part is they still had the wedding.
What?
Because that's right. So I guess there's been psycho wedding people
Yeah.
since the dawn of time.
Also, like, back then, death was so common that people didn't react to it. From my
Right.
understanding is, people didn't react to it in the same way that we do
That we
now.
did.
Because, like, children died, they were born dead, they
Yeah.
lived until they were 2, and then they got the scarlet fever. So this
It's just
sister
like-
was just a product of her environment.
It's just unimaginable to me, right? She's like,
Completely.
what were they like? We already paid the caterers. I don't care if your fucking sister died.
No, but
I don't even know.
because it
And-
probably somebody you knew probably died every day back then.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. But I also think, so what happened was the next day they had the funeral and everyone thought that Anna had a lot of color in her face and they thought that she looked, people were saying that she didn't look dead. And then they buried her and then
God.
people
Oh, God.
were saying to the parents, like, it was very strange how Anna had so much color in her face. So they had her exhumed, and that's when they found all of the top of her coffin was scratched. Her fingers were bitten to the bone and her hair was pulled out. I'm laughing. Like, it was her. She's one of like, there haven't been a lot of buried alive cases, but she is like one of a couple that were verified.
That's why you have a wake.
Right?
But they were too busy having a wedding.
It's all because of the wedding.
Oh my God.
Like, this poor girl, I feel like I'm buried alive because they were like, okay, she must be dead.
Oh, she's dead.
We got to get married. It's fine. She's dead. We'll deal with it tomorrow. They were like, just fucking bury her. Now we have to, look at our gifts. I don't know. Like,
we have to count their money. She's like, oh, Annabelle and Jacob gave us a shilling.
A sixpence. I can get that new chafing dish. I'm sorry.
I can get that new ivory comb for my hair that I've been eyeing.
Oh, poor little Anna Honkwalt.
Oh, that is
a wedding victim.
Oh, she
Like,
is
truly.
a wedding victim.
Yeah.
How many of us aren't?
Right. Like,
yeah, I said aren't.
Aren't.
Yeah, I want to know. I'm a wedding victim.
Oh, God.
That's another story.
Right? I mean, we're wedding victims a lot.
Oh, yeah. 30 plus times a year.
30 plus times a year. Yeah. So, yeah, that was,
Wow.
I heard that. I was like, wow. Weddings.
I wonder if anyone's ever died at any of the weddings we've done.
At them? No, we would know.
Would we?
Yeah, we would.
I
mean, I know I didn't get to go to the wedding, but my mom's first cousin at his wedding, his dad's best friend died on the dance floor.
Oh.
Yeah. He had a heart attack on the dance floor. And he was like a best friend. Like, he was always,
Did he
like,
die
I knew him.
there? Or
oh, yeah.
was he
No,
alive
died.
and then they took him and then he was pronounced dead? Or
No, he died. I think.
I mean, we've had some very close calls.
I don't remember, but I don't know.
Yeah, the father of the groom that died the night of the...
Oh, that's right.
He died the night of the wedding in his hotel room.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yes. That
And
was
the next day
crazy.
they were like, hey, do you have pictures of the groom's dad?
Right.
Because
Yes.
he died last night in his hotel bed after the wedding.
Yeah.
And we need them for his funeral. And
Yep.
we were like, oh, of course.
Of course.
Yeah, we
That's
have
right.
those.
Crazy.
Yeah. But the story that are you...
Oh, no, I'm going to go
reading yours
first, right?
Okay.
Yeah, because then I'm going to go...
Okay, this is new. So...
Yeah, this is new. Unless you want to go first,
So
but I
stick
was going to
with-
read two.
You have like some small ones, and then I have the big one.
I have a big one, and then you have a big one, and then I'm going to do a small one, right?
Yeah.
Okay. But, I mean, mine is like, okay. Well, I feel like I'm kind of keeping on the topic. So I should probably just do mine first.
Yeah. Go.
All right, so we've been asking for these submissions and all that stuff so we can get all this going. But so I had a former bride reach out to me on Instagram. She did not write out the story for me, so I'm going to have to tell it in my own words. We definitely want to read people's stories from their point of view, but
Yeah.
I just can't I can't not tell this story because
Okay.
it's pretty crazy.
Right.
All right,
And
so
I haven't heard it yet. So.
no, I know. I haven't told you, which is rare that I would not tell you something.
I know.
So I think she wants to remain anonymous, so I'm just going to do it. We're going to say her name's Laura.
Okay.
And so BM, before M.Studios, as you know, I used to work for another photography company, and it was run by two female photographers. So one day I was in the office by myself, and this bride called, and she came in with her mom. And, they just wanted to talk to somebody ASAP. They wanted to book a wedding ASAP. And I was there alone. It was the only reason that I was the photographer for the wedding. So I ended up booking the wedding. And then...
Yeah, you did.
Of course, right? And then that was the start of a wonderful relationship. I did the engagement session at Lori's parents' house. I did their wedding. newborn sessions. I even did both the child's baptisms that they've had. So, and actually, Tori, I got a little pop. Sorry.
That's okay. It's an old house. There's lots of noises.
Our awesome client, Tori, that hired us when we went into business, she saw these wedding photos.
Oh, and
that's
she
how
modeled
she found
her
us.
wedding after this one, so now I have
Yes.
a frame of reference. Okay.
Yes. So, so Laura and Tim, that's their names, they had the same officiant for the wedding as well as their first child's baptism. And I met this man a couple of times. I specifically remember chatting with him after the baptism. And they obviously had lots of meetings with this pastor. He was at their rehearsal dinner, blah, blah, blah. So at some point, he left the church and he moved to Maine. And then Laura and Tim were trying to reach him for some reason. I don't know the reason. But he was not returning their emails. So they decided to Google him to see if they could solve the mystery of why he wasn't getting back to them. And then they found out that he committed a murder-suicide.
What?
Yes.
The priest?
Yes. The man
Holy...
that hired... Yes. The man that married them and baptized their children. One of their child.
Did a murder-suicide?
Yes.
He did a Dateline?
He did. Yeah, truly. Truly.
Oh, my God.
So, I mean, I guess so this... It's fitting. I mean, this is where our wedding podcast becomes a true crime one.
Oh,
Like-
oh my God. That would be my ultimate dream.
Right?
Like, it would
You love
literally
true
be...
crime.
I do. I have those socks that on the bottom, it's like, if you can read this, don't talk to me because I'm watching Dateline.
Exactly. This is like a new thing for me. Like, I've never really listened to true crime podcasts until now. Like, and I'm
Hey,
like...
I've influenced... I might have
Right?
influenced you a little
It's
bit.
true.
It's so great to see the bad guys get caught.
Right? Oh, but this is not a good story, though. I mean, well, so, I mean, according to the article she sent me, in 2016, the man who officiated their wedding had just completed a 90-day program for alcohol abuse. He left recovery, bought a shotgun, and drove to his house. So several hours later, a neighbor found the 56-year-old lying down on the porch of his home. The neighbor could see the words "vow breaker" spray painted on the kitchen counter through the window. He called the police. Officers then found the officiant's 27-year-old daughter, Claire, dead in the bathroom. She died of multiple gunshot wounds, according to the state medical examiner. And the police said the officiant had been estranged from his family, didn't have a key to the house. He broke in through the garage, shot his daughter before shooting himself in the head. Police said he spray painted messages on the walls, and among them was a message to his wife, who had just recently filed for divorce, that said, "This is all your fault, Anna."
So he wasn't a Catholic priest. He was like a Episcopalian or
Yeah.
some other
I
kind of...
forgot. Honestly,
some
like,
other denomination
I'm
where
not-
they're allowed to get married.
yeah, I'm not super religious, but when I remember being at the church for the baptism and thinking, like, this is actually a wonderful church. Like,
Maybe Unitarian.
yeah, like it was very
That's
liberal,
all-inclusive,
Yeah,
yeah.
and it was a wonderful ceremony.
And yet still, there was something deeply religious about that murder because
Yeah.
he wrote vow breaker because his wife wanted a divorce.
Yeah.
And then somehow killed the daughter over it.
I wonder if maybe he thought that the daughter, maybe he shot before he knew who it was.
Yeah, there's that, or I'll make her suffer more
Maybe.
than... I'll make her suffer by leaving her alive and killing our daughter.
Yeah.
And then I won't face any consequences because I'm going to kill myself.
Yeah.
But I'll just ask God for forgiveness,
Right?
and it'll all be forgiven, and then I'll go to the pearly gates.
It's fucking crazy. So, I mean, like, I listen to these podcasts and they're like, write in, blah, blah, blah. And I always think, like, maybe I could tell, like, a freaky story, but I have no crime stories. And now I'm like, oh, I've met a murderer.
Yeah,
I
have.
remember chatting with this man. Like, I met a murderer at a wedding.
I mean,
What?
That's crazy.
I was shocked.
Holy. I mean, the priest that baptized me was a pee-pee toucher, and he got caught and went to jail.
Well,
for
that's not shocking.
touching boys' pee-pees, but it was the Catholic Church, and it was the 70s.
Yeah,
so,
whatever. They all did it.
Who didn't? Who didn't, right? Who wasn't touching pee-pees in the 70s?
Every one of those assholes.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
That's why celibacy is
Right?
a joke. Like, what?
And don't at us, okay?
Yeah, don't
Obviously,
at.
I know
Yeah.
not every fucking priest is touching people, but hey.
I guess. I don't know that.
Don't at me. Well, hopefully yours is your story a little more, like I've just told, like, oh, let's talk about.
I mean, mine
I should have given, like, a
doesn't
trigger
put like
warning.
men in the best light either. But this isn't my story to tell; it's somebody else's story.
It's true.
So,
All right.
I'll go for it.
Again, I have not heard this.
Nope. This is from
This is
a
fun.
former bride of ours,
Yay!
and she starts out with telling us how wonderful we are by saying,
Read it.
By saying, "Hey, ladies." All right, I'm going to read this in the voice of somebody
Yes,
else. Okay,
of
these aren't my
course.
words. To begin, loving the podcast. You do an amazing job of keeping it sharp and funny without judging the brides and grooms, wedding party guests, etc.
We try.
I know. We really do.
Because we
Yeah.
don't.
No, we love that for
Yes.
you. She said, and I bet it's a fine line with some of the stories that arise. Overly helpful bridesmaids had me dying. I mean, because, right? Once we point it out, I feel like it's so...
They know.
It's so obvious.
Yes,
I hope
totally.
it becomes a thing like bridge boners
Yes.
did. But anyway, let's get into her story. Okay. So she starts with, my husband had 11 groomsmen, which feels excessive, but who the heck am I to tell him what to do? I mean, right. Yeah.
She's right.
It's probably, yeah. I'm not going to assume anything. I'm just going to read it. So this was a combination of family members, college roommates, and a few hometown heroes, which belies the trouble that arose. I already love the way this is written.
I know,
it's like
right?
written for a podcast.
I love it.
Okay.
Thank you.
So I'm gonna she refers to them as HH, but I'll say hometown heroes just so you all have a good reference.
Okay.
Right. So 2 of the hometown hero fellas have known each other and actively disliked each other since high school. They both did mostly a good job at putting those feelings aside until the rehearsal dinner, when they met one another's serious girlfriends, now each of their wives, for the first time. My in-laws generously booked the rooftop at the Providence G for our rehearsal dinner, and it was just beautiful. The view was gorgeous. The fire pits were cozy and encouraged conversation. The food was delicious and just never stopped coming, and the open bar was appreciated. All in all, an absolutely perfect night.
Aw.
Because hair and makeup was scheduled to start at 6 a.m., I kicked myself out around 10 p.m. and missed the festivities to come. After the rehearsal dinner itself wound down, most of the groomsmen and their partners hit the pub downstairs, along with most of my husband's family. Hometown Hero 1 thought it was the perfect time to approach Hometown Hero 2's girlfriend and ask, in front of a crowd, "Are your boobs real, and can I touch them? I really want to touch them."
Wow.
Yeah. From what I've heard, the crowd exploded, and Hometown Hero 2 needed to be brought outside by my now brother-in-law to prevent a potential assault charge.
Wow.
There were sides picked, Sharks and Jet style. That's very timely with West Side Story just coming out.
right?
When you're a jet till the end. From your first cigarette to... Oh my God. Okay.
Love it.
Okay. And there was plenty of shouting and pushing.
Oh, it got physical.
And plenty of shouting and pushing commenced, including the girlfriends of Hometown Hero 1's buddies.
Oh, wait. Oh, so they were there.
It
Multiple
was
dudes.
It was like gang on gang.
It was?
It was
Oh.
like gang.
Wow.
Like Hometown Hero 1 and Hometown Hero 2 each had a posse.
Jesus.
And they were like, yeah. To which she replies, lovely. Because the bride is in the hotel.
She's in bed.
She has no idea this is happening down there.
Oh.
So they had to be brought outside by my now brother-in-law to prevent a potential assault charge.
That is insane.
And now I'm just picturing like fists flying, and it's like one of those like, you know, in like cartoons, it's like a ball.
Yeah.
It's like one of those balls of like
just like you see like
scribbles, and like in the Peanuts,
right?
Like,
yeah, and then someone will try to get out of it, and then they'll like an arm will pull it.
I'm pretty sure that's exactly exactly what was happening. She said nobody got kicked out, shockingly, but 3 years later, the animosity stands to this day.
Man!
Hometown Hero 1 has not apologized or even acknowledged that he did anything wrong. And reminder, he said, "Are your boobs fake? Can I touch them?" He's never apologized. And our bride says parenthetically, "I just kind of have a hard line at blatant sexual harassment, so I can't stand this guy. Turns out this is standard behavior for him."
Ugh.
So he hasn't apologized to Hometown Hero 2 and his now wife, and not to our bride who's telling the story, or her husband, who he is friends with. And has been since he was a child. He hasn't apologized to the in-laws, who were his lifelong next door neighbors, and hosted the event that he trashed. Yeah. So neither her husband or she, pronouns are hard.
Yeah.
The bride telling the story were aware that this happened until the day after the wedding.
Oh no.
The biggest shock for us was how this situation was considered perfectly fine behavior by the Hometown Hero 1 and his wife and their mutual high school friends that were all a part of our wedding. It definitely created a sticky situation for us, as this was my friends and family's first real experience with folks from her now husband's hometown, and it didn't make for a great first impression.
Yeah.
The woman who he harassed is also a dear friend, and our bride writing in was the best was the BM.
Maid of honor?
BM?
Bridesmaid.
And she, like, bridesmaid at her wedding, and she appreciated that she didn't tell her about this until after the wedding, so to not ruin the whole weekend.
Well, that's nice.
But then she goes on to say, "But I honestly wish I had known in real time so I could address it." She says, "I hate that happened at all, never mind at our rehearsal dinner, and we ultimately feel responsible for putting her in that situation."
Oh, but it's not their fault.
No, it's not, especially since they weren't there. But I get what she's saying. Like, she brought all these people together, and in that gathering, she was like sexually harassed by this douchebag.
These dudes hated each other before the rehearsal dinner. So she can only like.
No, I don't want her to take any.
No
woman should take the blame of a man's shitty behavior.
Exactly.
And no man should ever comment on another woman's breasts unless he's in bed with her.
Right?
Like, that's gross.
Or ask to touch her.
And then they had no idea for the whole wedding that this happened at the rehearsal dinner. That's a good question, like, to put out there. If something happens at your wedding, would you want to know? Like, if somebody passed out, or if somebody...
I mean, I just feel like maybe... I understand that maybe she wanted to address it, but it's still your wedding day. Would she have wanted to address it on her wedding day? Probably not. You know, she might have had a different opinion if she was told.
Yeah, I don't know.
Right?
I don't know what the right answer to that is.
I don't know either.
I mean...
I think that if people are withholding things like that, it's not a bad thing. They're trying to make it so... Because you've planned for how long? For your wedding.
Yeah.
And, you know, everybody wants you to have a wonderful time at your wedding and have the best... It's supposed to be, you know, the best day of your life thus far. So yeah, I get it.
I mean, we've been at weddings where like a button breaks on the back of the dress, and everybody's like, "Don't tell her, don't tell her."
Yeah.
Like she'll never know. Don't tell her. But that's a button.
Yes. Exactly.
You know.
But maybe this is worse. So maybe it's like, definitely don't tell her.
Yeah.
And it's not like, or maybe tell her, like, what, like, I don't know, at the after party. Because then you have to do your photos.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to stand next to these people. You know, I
You're
don't know, right?
No, you're right.
Sometimes ignorance is bliss.
No, I guess you're right. For it is bliss.
Because usually, I wouldn't condone that for any other thing. Because I don't know. I've had, sometimes my family be like, "Don't tell Melissa because it'll make her upset."
Oh,
and there's been so many times where I was like, or my Nana's in the hospital, or not.
You're like, great, now I'm upset that you didn't tell me because
Yes.
you didn't want me to get upset. Now I'm even more upset.
Exactly. And it wasn't like, it was just I was, at work. It's like I could have left work.
Right.
Like it's not a big deal.
So, guys, now you have an idea of where we're going with this.
Yes.
No secret is too dark.
Nope.
She didn't need any protecting. I don't think I gave much away here. But if you say you want to be anonymous, we'll change everything because we feel like it would be good for you.
Or write it out,
for you.
like, since we're going to read it, just write it out with different, names.
Yes, because if we have to switch it, then that's more work from us, and we don't like to do work.
Yeah, and I think we would just rather read the POV of someone else, right?
Right.
We have one more little one. It's not like, it's just kind of like, well, whatever.
No story is too small.
Thank you. Yes, so everybody send in your stuff. And I mean, this person wanted to keep it anonymous, so I can't say too much about them, but I do love them.
Okay.
And you know who you are. So, here we go. This is what they wrote. I'm going to say they.
Oh, I like that.
Right?
Gender neutral pronouns.
I am. I have been working at a golf course catering since the summer for a little extra cash. It's been an experience for sure. And I have seen so many crazy, bizarre, sad, and happy things. Last night's wedding was the Twilight Zone. I don't even know if I can describe it. I saw your post on Insta and had to try to attempt to share it.
Oh my God, I'm so excited.
It started as I was in charge of taking coats. As the guests arrived, I noticed jeans, work boots,
Oh God.
sweatshirts,
Oh God.
leggings,
What?
unkept hair, and body odor. Which I feel like I read that and I was like, Marissa's going to be like, like
Nothing. Because I can't. I'm the first one to smell it.
I
in a
know
room.
you are. You have a much more
I'm
sensitive
either
nose
highly
than me.
evolved or not evolved. I might not be evolved at all. I'm like a caveman. Like I can smell pheromones and BO
Right.
from miles away.
Because when we're doing the dancing, sometimes you're like, oh, the dance floor smells like BO.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Smells
what?
like an old Italian grandma. Oh.
I think my nose is dead.
I think it is.
So she goes on to say, I get casual, but it was odd considering how it was a Saturday night wedding at a golf course. I overheard the groom telling the bartender he has irritable bowel syndrome and to make his drink strong. And then the chef mentioned that the groom ordered 2 stuffed lobster tails while the bride and all of the guests had to eat from the buffet. So, I mean, like,
I don't know if stuffed lobster and IBS go hands in hand.
right? Like, IBS stuffed lobster tails.
I feel like there's breading and maybe some butter.
Butter.
Involved,
Lots of
like
butter.
Dairy and IBS,
Right?
not friends.
No. And why do you need to have like strong alcoholic drinks?
So it hurts less when you
When you let it all out.
pee out of your ass.
So I can be in a good mood when my butt explodes later when I have your delicious lobster tails. I'll be a little wasted. It'll come out easier.
Oh my God.
Sorry. The mother of the groom saved all of her food and asked to take it home in a styrofoam. And it's a go bag. I feel like we've seen that once, and we're always like D class A. No.
Like you spent the money.
Yeah,
Stop.
don't take a doggy bag home from your wedding. No. Like, come on.
Oh, don't beg people to take your centerpieces. Like,
no.
Just let it go.
Ugh. I can't even describe the speeches and how the mother of the bride went on and on and on. It was cringy. The saddest thing was they had one of those card holders that was see-through, and there was only one card in it.
Oh,
so,
no!
For, like the guests brought, sometimes people, you put your cards in a thing. They had these see-through boxes, and at this wedding, only one guest brought a card.
Oh.
One!
Oh, God.
Horrible. I mean, that's just like, and you know how I feel like when people come, like, dressed scuzzy to a wedding, like, you can't wear jeans. You can't wear like jeans are hard.
The uncle has to change out of his suit to put jeans on.
Ooh, I'm hitting my microphone.
And a backwards baseball hat.
Yeah, you couldn't live 2 hours without your fucking sweatshirt on.
It's like me with when women take their heels off.
Yeah.
Like, are you?
Unless they provide flip flops.
That's fine.
I mean, I guess, because it's there.
I mean,
right?
Don't wear shoes that you can't. I mean, don't write a check that your ass can't catch.
Oh. So she goes on to say, as the season has come to a close, I think back, I've seen the mother of the groom upset and pouting the entire time, and how sad that was. How awful it is to see the children attend. They are so exhausted but cute. I may offend so many people, but kids need to go home and rest after a certain point during the wedding. Which, facts.
Yeah.
But I have seen love and smiles that could light the sun. I feel lucky to be in a position where I can watch such intimate moments in people's lives. I wish I was a better storyteller. And one more thing, please tip your caterers. You're a fine storyteller.
I like that she felt like she had to qualify it. Because, like, she felt bad. Like, like we've said so much shit.
Oh, I know.
but we do see so much love and so much. Then there are just shit shows.
Yep, it's true. It's true. You never know who our couples, like, we'll, like, meet them and love them and do their engagement shoots, and then we meet their, sometimes, not all the time. Sometimes then we meet their families and we're like, what? Whoa. What is happening?
What went on there?
Because, I mean, we all have, I know I have some crazy ass relatives.
Oh, yeah. The in-law side of my family, they had a whole group of them called the Scaries.
Yeah.
They called them the Scaries. And then I met them and I was like, oh, shit, they're scary. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, so, like, there's no hiding that at a wedding because they're all there.
Oh,
and we see them.
Oh, it's so much fun to see them. Oh, it's so much fun.
So send in those stories. Send in your scaries. Send in those scary stories.
Send in the scary stories. We want to hear it.
No one will know who you are.
Yeah. We got you.
Exactly.
We'll take care of your privacy if it benefits us in some way.
Exactly.
And by that, I mean, we just need some advertising.
Right. We're just keep going. Hello, Fresh.
Hello, Fresh.
Hello, Fresh.
Hello, Fresh.
Bring it. Oh, man. So, follow us on Instagram.
Follow, like, subscribe, and
rate it.
Send us your story. Even if you think it's mundane.
Yes.
Even if somebody wasn't, like, buried alive.
Yeah.
Even if somebody wasn't sexually harassed. Like,
even if they didn't commit a murder-suicide.
Right. There have to be, like, 2 bridesmaids that hooked up. Maybe there's 2 groomsmen that hooked up. Maybe there's, like...
fights.
Yeah. Yeah. We know there's fights. We know we know for a fact there's been cheating, or at least a spouse has been found out to be cheating right before the wedding.
Yes.
Like, give it all to us.
We want it. We want it, guys.
Yeah. The juicier, the better.
Exactly. All right. So we'll be looking out for the stories.
All right, peace out. Our kids are coming home from high school soon. So
Yeah, right?
We need to.
We need to wrap this up. Because it's about to
start like cooking like bagel bites and hot pockets, and it's going to be mayhem in here.
Nobody wants that.
No.
Ugh. All right. Goodbye.
Bye. We love you.
I'm a boss.
Taking pictures, bitches taking pictures.